or I hope I get married, right?
honestly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like you weren't here, but when I came to Korea, my plan was not to stay here for
Oh.
this. My plan was 1 year done,
Oh.
and I was gonna move to Australia actually.
Ah.
But I
But
just
you met your wife and for love.
but what was the thing? It was like,
Oh, really?
but the thing was like I came here, no expectations.
Oh.
Like I did not think about.
Married and
No, I never thought about that.
never thought about
No,
anything.
no way.
No way.
No. I was like, when I came here, I was like 24 years old. So,
Oh.
yeah.
That is destiny.
Destiny.
No?
I don't believe in that.
Oh. Wow.
No. It was just,
Your MBTI is also T? Sorry.
ESTJ.
Oh,
P.
really?
P.
I feel
how do you know?
You said so.
How do you remember?
because I feel
ES
something
what?
something same thing. Because I'm ENTJ.
Go really?
Yeah, so oh
Well, you can teach me.
He's not J.
I don't know.
J. He's J now.
I don't even know what that means though.
Oh,
What is J?
J is
I don't know.
make
No.
plan a lot.
What? Yeah.
P is a little
Yeah,
bit
what's-
No plan.
free.
When you
Right.
when you go to traveling.
Right.
no plan.
Right.
No plan.
Well,
is P.
I think it depends on the situation.
Really?
Like my life, like I will never write things down.
Oh.
But in my head, I'm always planning.
Oh, probably.
Like for example, today, like my schedule was crazy today, right? Like I have to go here at this time, here at this time, here at this time. I don't write it down like what am I gonna do? In my head, I'm just like, okay, I gotta be at the bus stop at this time, then I have to go here at this time, and then I have to go here at this time, and I have to go here. I have to take this bus at this time. I have to, in my head, it's just like, it's constant planning. Oh yeah.
I always write my plan in
Well, I write my schedule.
like this.
Oh my god.
4 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
But do you have to go to many different places?
Yeah, of course.
Do you plan like,
Plan and
for example, what time you have to get on the bus?
Yes.
And do you write that?
Yes.
Really?
Holy
Wow.
Jesus.
How was it?
Yeah.
How was it? Wow.
Because I love plan and when
Wow.
when I don't plan,
Yeah.
I think I feel depressed. I know, confused.
Confused, yeah. Well, I think for me it's more about planning like the important thing, like what is the schedule, right? Like, oh, I have this, for example, class at this time. But the actual like, going from this place to this place to this place to this place, that's all in my head.
How about travel?
Travel.
Well, no, like I think we talked about that, right?
Yeah. Last class, you don't no plan.
No,
Ah.
I hate planning.
Yeah.
Travel.
Oh,
But I think
match.
But I think it's like, again, I think it's the broad. Like for example, my biggest trip I did was 5 weeks in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
and I got an airplane ticket to Paris,
Yeah.
and I stayed in Paris for 5 days, and I had no plans after that.
Wow.
It's
So-
different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
How about you?
Me? That is also my concern because when I get travel,
Yeah.
I wrote for minutes
In travel?
in travel.
So
Yeah.
you're like an itinerary person.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
So yeah, when I go to Japan, when I went to Japan
Yeah.
with my boyfriend,
Yeah.
also I wrote. But now I meet. I fight a lot
Right,
about
right.
plans.
Your plan
Yeah.
is P.
No, J, but
J?
same.
Same.
He hates plan travel.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
for me, for example, in my Europe trip, like I would be in one place and then I would think, okay, where do I want to go next? And then I would plan, okay, I need to get a train, I need to get like an Airbnb, and then I need to And for me, it was more about like I go to that place for a reason. I wanted to go there for some reason. And then when I get there, I plan what am I gonna do there, right? But it's no like set like itinerary thing, you know?
Yes.
So like, and then I go to the next place and I'm like, okay, where am I gonna go next? Oh, I want to go here because of this. Then I go there and then I plan stuff for there. And it was just constant like, go to one place, where am I going next? Go to the next place, where am I going next? You know? So it just wasn't like, it was planning but not planning,
Oh,
right? I don't know.
that's good.
Yeah. What was I gonna ask? Sentences.
Depression.
Oh, you guys understand now, right?
Yeah.
What is
Yes.
depression? Yeah. That's a common one. Is like people don't understand what is depression. Right. I don't know. Do we have time? I don't want to waste. Oh my god. Yeah, we don't have enough time.
Sorry.
No. This is good. I like doing this. Like we don't. I don't like. I like when we.
Talk each other.
But we have to do because. Okay. Now this is like kind of a pattern of speaking, and using your feelings, and then telling the reason. Now I always tell people like, the best word in the English language is this. Because it's the best word. Because it's just so simple. Blah 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 because blah blah blah. If you ever want, like, these are really good, but it's just because it's so easy, right? So I always tell people, like, if you are talking about a reason why, because it's great, you know? Like, I talked a lot, it made me refreshed. It's good. I talked a lot, that's why I felt refreshed. It's great. But I mean, look at this. It's just so easy.
Simple.
It's so simple. And I hope I told you this. Koreans are always looking to not be simple. Turn that off. Be simple. Yes. It's not like I always hear, oh Shannon, like I feel like I say the same thing all the time. Like I want to have more vocabulary and speak differently and blah 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 blah. Why? Just be simple. That's a perfect example. Because it's the greatest word in the in English language. Because it's so easy. Right? So yeah. Because like this, the grammar, it's more difficult. Right? Ugh, it's too hard. Even like me, like, oh, I talked a lot. It made me feel refreshed. Like, the grammar is just right. Like this is just blah 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 because blah blah blah. Super easy, right? So yeah, turn that like I want to be more. Turn it off. Simple. And I'm not talking like kindergarten, like 5-year-old speaking simple, but I'm talking like vocabulary and you know, really difficult grammar. Nah, just be simple with that. So yeah, again, how did you feel?
I felt refreshed.
Refreshed. Why did you feel that?
Because I talked a lot. My stress was gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there you go. So yeah, I'll ask you a question. Now this is how did you feel? I'm gonna ask you, how do you feel? Right now. How do you feel? And why? Yep.
I feel fun.
Now, it's a good question. I feel fun.
Oh.
I felt
Well, no, we're doing feel is okay, but I feel
Feeling?
fun.
funny.
Do you feeling?
Fun and funny is not a feeling. That's it. That.
Happy?
Funny.
Yeah, happy.
I feel happy. Right? Everybody are like you could say like I'm having fun,
Mm.
but the feeling, no. Many people will say like I feel fun or I feel fun. No, they're not feelings.
For happy and different.
Yeah, I mean it's a good question. Like yes, they are kind of different, but if you want to use fun as a feeling, then you would say I'm having fun. Okay? But saying I feel fun, no.
Mm.
Yeah. So what do you? I'm having fun. Good. Why?
Because I like
Me too. Excellent. I like it.
I feel a little bit tired
Mm-hmm. Why?
because I work all day.
The whole day.
Oh.
Yep, I know it. How do you feel?
Also, I'm tired too.
Yeah. Why?
Because um I wake up, sleep.
Yeah. So like, you could just say like, for that I woke up.
I woke up.
Yeah. Like, and you
I
could say I.
couldn't sleep well.
Oh.
Ah, yeah. I couldn't sleep well. Yeah. Why?
Why?
Summer.
Sometimes this day I wake up 3 o'clock.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, wake up, and then
For no reason, or because
Yeah.
summer.
Summer night.
maybe I don't know.
You don't know?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mosquito?
Yeah.
No,
That's a
yeah.
common one. Yeah. Mosquitoes.
Yeah.
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 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Mm,
Ugh.
So I went to washroom and then I wake up. I woke up
Mm-hmm.
and then
Do you-
around this 6 or 7 o'clock is very sleep.
Well, do you try to go back to sleep or no? Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, that's not good. You have to try to find, I don't know, a cure, like something that will make you fall asleep. Like me, it was always reading. Yeah. Yeah, really. Yeah, it's good for falling asleep. Like if you wake up like 2, 3, 4, or 5 in the morning, get a book. I'm not saying books are boring. I love reading, right?
But
But reading makes you feel sleepy.
relax.
Yeah, relaxed. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. It helps me. How do you feel?
I feel happy
Why?
because I talk a lot. So maybe I thought I make them tired. So I worry about that.
No.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
There's no judging here.
Yeah.
No judging ever. Don't worry
okay,
about
thank
that.
you.
No, never. How do you feel?
I so feel tired
Yeah.
because I had too much headache.
Oh.
And,
Because?
because I just prepared my school exhibition.
Oh. What is the exhibition?
In school lab grand school exhibition.
Yeah.
And just people said it's just video art.
Oh, right, yeah.
So my exhibition is taking attack ball and use what kinds
You have to show us a video.
yeah. Ball attack,
Yeah.
making sound and
Oh.
audio visual. Yeah.
You do some really like crazy stuff. Like that's.
Creator.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are a creator.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So my exhibition art was not better than another classmate.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Like, for example, some classmates start to taking and look up and two people, for gentle couple, and they picking pen and picking art just make
Yeah.
heart. Too many hearts.
What?
That was great
Yeah.
art, but my art was so humble.
Well, remember this.
Oh.
Like, the one thing, like you said, other people's art was better. Remember, art, and actually anything, what is it? It's subjective. Do you all know what subjective and objective means? Subjective means it's people's opinions, right? It's like what another good example is like. This is something I talk to Koreans about all the time, especially children. What is beautiful? This is classic Korean stuff. Because especially with young kids, like they will say things like to other kids, like, "Ooh, you're ugly," and I say, "Well, but." Well, I say to them like, well, you said he or she is ugly. Okay, well, what is ugly? Right? And you know, kids will say things like, oh, teacher, it's like, or no, I say, well, what is beautiful? Don't think about ugly. Let's say, what is beautiful? And they say things like big eyes and like V shape and stuff like that. And I say, okay, but what does that mean? Like, where does that come from? Right? And so, like, the thing with, like, all art, beauty, whatever it is, it's all subjective. There is no ugly, there's no beautiful, handsome, whatever it is. It's all, like, people's opinions, right? And that's why I tell Koreans, like, there's the Korean standard. Fuck off. Like, right? Like, and actually, I said this to young kids. Like I said, because I want to teach young kids when they're really young. Like I said, like, okay, forget about you. I would ask a class, like for example, 12 kids. Who thinks I'm ugly? Some students would put their hands and be like, ah, yeah, nice. And like, who thinks I'm handsome? And then some people would be like, you know, like. And then I'd say things like, well, perfect example right here, right? What is beauty? It's all an opinion, right? Do I get angry or sad or depressed because you say I'm ugly? No. I don't care. It's your opinion, right? And also, someone who calls you ugly, who's the bad person? Why is that person saying you're ugly? They're a bad person. Or low self-confidence. Don't like themselves. You know, there's many reasons why people like talk about other people's looks or things. Like, who cares? You know?
You're really good teacher.
Well, with kids, like I just, you know, there's in Korea, like there's so much pressure and stress with, you know, especially with school, with future stuff, and then you have like, you know, social media and stress of looks and money and stuff like that. I'm like, don't think about what other people think. Think about you. That's it. So, I don't know. Trying to give them less stress in life. I don't know. Anyways, how do I feel?
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking, how do I feel?
How do you feel? I do.
I don't know. I was tired before. And this is, did you know I hate MBTI?
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
But you know the whole E and I thing, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what it is in English?
Extrovert.
Outgoing.
Introvert.
Extrovert, introvert.
아.
Well, extrovert means outgoing,
어.
right? But the words are extroverted, introverted. So people will say like, "Oh shit, you're MBTI, you're E,"
아.
and I'm like, "No, I'm not." Like, yes, I did the test one time. I'm E, but I will always say like I'm EI
음.
or IE,
음.
right? And people say like, "Oh, why?" It's because like, well, sometimes I like talking to people, and sometimes I hate people,
음.
right? And like that's
I think you're very good balance. E and I.
well,
It's a
Leah. Do you know Leah? She's one of the managers.
음.
Yeah, she. Because I said that to her, and she said, "Shannon, you're more E." Well, she asked me the question, "Do you get energy from like being around people?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, that's your E." I was like, "Oh,
어.
oh." I didn't understand that. But that's what she said. I was like, "Yeah." Like before this class, zero energy,
음.
zero. But now I'm okay. So I feel good. Why? Because of you.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So next one, add feelings and reasons. So again, what we talked about.
Weekend. It was great. I met my best friend Leah
on Saturday
on
night.
Saturday night. She's a friend from high school. I was so stressed last week. I wanted to drink and talk, so we hung out at the pub. It was perfect. I enjoyed drinking and talking. I felt refreshed because I talk a lot. My stress was gone.
Now remember, this is very like, you know,
Mm.
perfectly written, right? But when you're speaking, you know, it's not gonna be like this. But I always tell people, just make sure, like, the most important thing, like, if you wanna think quickly, is always just have a good beginning. Your middle is the story and a good end, right? And that's it. Or just tell the story from beginning to end, and that's it, right? But this is like very written.
음.
But it's very detailed.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
It's good
Right.
for story.
Yeah. That's important, right? Details. But again, remember, like, your details, like for example, the feelings. Here, it's at the end. You don't have to, like, you can have feelings anywhere in the story, right? So this is very set, like a perfect writing thing. But with speaking, it can be mixed and everywhere. So yeah. So yeah, next one, MSG. So the key, what is it?
Talkative.
Is to make others listen. Can you make, I don't know, did we talk about this last time? In Korean, are you good at making people listen? Yes. Like if you're talking, for example, if we're talking about, like, how was your weekend, right? And you're telling your weekend story. Are you good at making people listen? Yes?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
No.
No. No?
Yes.
Yes? Me? In Korean? Probably not. And in English, I think, for me, I always tell people, like, it depends on the story, right? If my weekend was boring, nobody wants to listen to that. So it always depends on the story. Like my last weekend, amazing.
음.
Not amazing because, wow,
Why?
too much drink.
We drink coffee. Yeah.
Beer?
Beer or soju. 안동 soju.
What did we do? I have to remember.
You can.
Well, I was telling them, well, you weren't
forgot.
here, I think. We were talking about like drinking alcohol and like mixing different alcohols and like I said I had no energy and I was drinking water for energy. It was like, oh, not a cocktail? And I was like, no. If I drink alcohol and I stop, I go to sleep.
Oh.
So like, for example, last Saturday, I went out with friends. We started at 5 p.m. Saturday night, or Saturday evening, I guess. We finished 6 a.m. Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, it's a good story. What were we drinking? I don't know. A lot of things. Mostly beer, and I think we had a lot of. Do you all know like Jello shots? Do you know Jello?
Oh, Jello shot is kind of a cocktail though.
Well, do you know Jello? Jello is like this. Yeah, it's kind of like pudding, but it's more fruit. Yeah, and it's like that. Yeah, it's like jelly. Yeah. And then you do Jello, and then you add alcohol to it. Usually like vodka. And there's many different flavors of Jello, right? Like strawberry, whatever.
Haribo.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That would be good. That's in. I think we had that in Dokeba.
Tokeba.
Now I don't know, but at the last spoon party. But yeah, Jello shots, dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous.
Sugar.
Yeah.
It's the sugar.
So where did you drink last week?
We were in Itaewon.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we went to Itaewon pub. I don't know. We went. This is another thing. So like, we were talking about like how much can you drink?
How much?
Like how many bottles of soju?
How about you?
I don't know.
Wow.
We never count. A lot.
Oh.
I always tell people if you want to understand, you have to come out with it. And if you come out with me, it's dangerous. Well, it's just, it's either you can't go home or you go home very early. But yeah, we were talking about that, like how much can you drink, but also in Korean, you talk about how many places,
yeah.
right? We don't think about that.
Oh.
So for example, last Saturday, we went to a lot of places.
Oh.
But Jello shots, we were at like a country bar. So you know country music?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a one of my friends.
Itaewon?
Oh yeah. It's called Grand Old Opry. Yeah. It's very famous in Itaewon.
Foreign.
Koreans too.
Oh really?
Oh, there's a lot of Koreans there. Yeah. Because country music is very, I don't know, American. I hate country music.
Why
It's not my style.
Oh.
It's not my style. But one of my best friend, he loves country music, so, and he loves going to that bar. So he's like, oh shit, we're going. Fuck. Yeah. We always end up there. So yeah, you want to get people wanting to listen, right? So how do we do that? MSG. So now this. So tone and facial expressions. So a big thing is tone. Now, I think in Korean, do you have good tone?
No.
And do you understand like what is good tone?
In Korean?
Yeah, like well, with any speaking, I think.
Low,
What is good tone?
low voice.
You think so?
Yeah, cause when I in university
Mm.
we learn about the tone.
Really?
Cause I major in
Acting. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, I think that is just
I mean, I'm asking, what's your opinion, right? What is a good tone?
Case by case.
Case by case? You think so?
I think for two case by case.
Case by case?
Yeah.
I think.
When I listen,
Yeah.
I felt relaxed. Sound.
But with what tone? Yeah.
Depends on when I feel tired.
Mm.
It's maybe
case by case.
So it's case by case, right? I think it's not case by case. I think tone is super important for keeping people. Like, I'm a teacher. Adults are a little easier, but teaching kids, tone is so important. And what is my opinion? No. Changing. Always changing. You have, like, you said low tone. Sometimes. You have to change. Like, it has to be low, high, quiet, loud. It has
That's why you said depends on.
right. But
Yeah.
I
Case
think
by case.
but I think it always has to be changing. I can't, like, if I'm teaching or just talking, I'm never speaking in the same tone. Like, it's always going up and down, changing quiet, loud. And especially with storytelling. I think, like, storytelling, the biggest thing to keep people listening is you can't speak in the same tone. It has to be high, low, quiet, loud. Like, just like a roller coaster. That's my thinking.
So
And-
how about this class? When you speak tone? What
I don't
kind
even-
of tone?
Like, I don't. And that's another thing. I don't know. Like, do you know, like, conscious?
Conscious what?
Conscious, subconscious, and unconscious.
What is conscious?
Good question. Conscious is you're thinking about it. Subconscious means you're doing it but not thinking about it. And unconscious is, for example, if you hit your head and you're sleeping, but not dead. So don't worry about the unconscious. Unconscious is not important right now. The two are important are conscious and subconscious. So, like, for me, tone is very subconscious. Like, I don't think about it. So I don't even know. You ask me, like, what's my tone in this class? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Same thing with the other one, which is facial expressions. People say, like, my facial expressions, like, I have a lot of facial expressions. I don't know. You tell me. I have no idea. It's just, it's a subconscious thing that I do. And that's, like, and the big thing also is, like, you're an actress, so, like, again, I'm using you as an example, but I mean, like, this kind of stuff, I always tell people, like, for example, use your tone and facial expressions to show excited, fun, happy, surprised, disappointed, sad, bored, angry. You can't overact. Like, you're not being a dramatic person with this. Like, oh my god, my weekend was so exciting. Like, you know, you're not, it is, like, you're not overacting, right?
That's always.
Right. Oh my god, I'm so disappointed. Like, no, that's just, it's stupid. But I think you have to have some kind of tone, some kind of facial expressions with this. But just not overacting, right? Like,
So eye is also important thing.
oh, of course.
Yeah, storytelling. Yes, eye contact or
Anyway.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, I don't know what I do. Like people will say, Shannon, you're a good storyteller, and I say, okay, I don't understand what that means. And then they say, like, yeah, you have, like, I don't know, facial expressions and tone and eyes and stuff like that. And again, I don't understand. Like, I don't know what I do. It's all subconscious. So people ask me, like, how do you do that?
I don't know.
I really don't know. I have no idea. So, like, this kind of stuff is just, I tell people, think about it, but don't overact. And also, my facial expressions, I think I'm way too much. And I think it's because I was teaching kids. I used a lot of facial expressions for teaching kids, especially for anger. Yeah. And like it's become like this habit now of using too much of my face. I don't teach kids anymore, but I can't stop it. You know, I need to get Botox or something like that. So that, you know, my face doesn't move or something.
I want to attend your kiss class.
Oh, me too.
Maybe it's very
I wonder about your
Yeah,
class.
Yeah. I don't know. Like teaching kids. I don't know. Have you ever had experience like, I don't know, maybe not teaching, but like dealing with kids?
Yes.
Teaching?
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you?
Dance class.
Oh, seriously? How was it?
So noisy.
Could you control the kids? Like, for example, you go to the class. Were they just always crazy? Would they
Yeah.
listen to you?
Only first
Mhm.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
They listen to me.
Yeah.
And after that, teacher.
Yeah.
That's why, also I'm,
You have experience?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm teaching only 20 minutes.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Over 20 minutes, it's uncontrolled.
They fly away.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
every class only,
Yeah.
less than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Have you had experience? No?
Yes.
Doing.
Musical class
Yeah,
and
yeah,
also
yeah.
dance class.
Oh, seriously?
I love children, but I hate children class. I really hate. Oh, that makes me crazy.
Yeah.
You've had experience?
Yeah, I was compose class.
Oh, really? Oh my god.
I was but they are middle school class
Yeah.
students, but they are 10 minutes. Over 10 minutes,
They
They
fly
always-
away.
they are taking computer, just taking watching YouTube,
Yeah,
Oh.
searching internet.
Right.
I looked at oh that's you, so funny. Okay.
Yeah, like, for me, like, working at schools, for example, the last school that I taught at, a lot of the teachers there would ask me, like, Shannon, how do you control kids? Because, like, I would go to a class, like, because I would teach, like, many classes of many different students. And when I went to the class, I would just go to the classroom and stand at the door, say nothing,
Oh.
and when the kids saw me, they would just sit down and shut up. And so teachers would watch this and they'd be like, how do you do that? And it's like, it was kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, but you really have to, it's kind of like, I call it, this is a bad word, kind of, manipulation. Do you know?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mini?
Manipulation. Manipulation is, gaslighting. Do you know gaslighting?
Ah.
Similar to gaslighting.
Control their
brains.
Ah.
You have to find a way to control their brains. And it always starts from the very first class that you teach them. The very first class that you teach them, you have to find a way to control their brains.
Silent.
Well, I think the number one thing I think teachers get wrong is yelling. Yelling at kids does not work. Plus, like, for me, the big thing was, like, and this is for adults too, but especially for kids, like, I was a terrible student in school. And it wasn't because I wasn't smart, it was because I didn't care about school. I hated school. I thought it was boring. Like, why am I here? Why are we doing tests? This is useless. So for me as a teacher, especially for kids and adults too, I always think, like, how do I teach Shannon? How? So that's what I was always thinking. You know, and one thing, if someone yelled at me, that did nothing. You know, I would never listen to someone who yelled at me. So the thing was, like, I think it was always trying to find out, like, how do you, and manipulation is kind of a strong word, but it is trying to control their brains. I'll tell you one thing that I did. For example, the last school that I worked at, they had this kind of like points system. Like if kids finish homework or they do something good, they get points. Right? So I would write their names on the whiteboard. Kids love getting like, you know, like competition, right? So I would give them points for finishing homework. Also, I would always ask questions. Like, all right, here's a question, 3 points. And then whoever answers the question, they get 3 points. And kids love that. It keeps them entertained. But the one thing that I did that really kept kids in control was, of course, we have different color markers, like black marker, red marker. So I would say, okay, when students first started in my class, I would say, okay, we have points, everybody. You do good, you get points. Black marker, this is good, right? You finish homework, you answer a question, you get points. It's good. And there's no minus points. So kids just start like, oh, really? No minus points, really? And I said, but red marker. This is the bad marker. And there's one thing. Red marker, black marker, there's no minus points. But the one rule is don't make Shannon teacher angry. And kids are like, what? Shannon teacher angry? How? How? What do I do? What do I do? And they would ask, like, what makes Shannon teacher angry? I'd be like, you have to think. Right? I never told them what makes me angry. I always told them you have to think what makes me angry. And if you make me angry, I don't yell. I just write -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. You have to go talk to the principal. And the principal calls your mom. So I would just, if a student was doing something stupid, the only thing I needed to do was pretend to reach for the red marker. He'd be like, teacher, no, I'll stop. That was it. I never had to say anything. I just had to, like, you know, they're doing something stupid, I'm like, I don't say anything, I'm just looking. And then they pay attention, like, oh, teacher, no, sorry. That's it. And that's like something, it was controlling their brains, right? Like, I didn't have to do anything.
Easy.
Yeah. So you have to find ways to do that. So that was one of the ways that I did. Yeah. oh, my classes were fun to watch. And it wasn't like I was not an angry teacher. Like, the one thing that I love doing with kids is like getting them to think.
Mm.
You know, it wasn't about English.
Yeah.
It was getting them to talk about things. And they loved, my boss at my last school, he said, Shannon, we want you to play games
Mm.
with the kids. Like, you finish the work, you have time, play games. My interview, I said, I don't play games. Never.
Mm.
And my boss said, so what do you do to keep kids happy or enjoying your class? Just talk. He's like, what? These are kids.
Mm.
They're like, I don't know. And he would come to my class to watch my class. He would be like, how do you just talk to kids and they just are interested? Because you're getting them to talk. And also, it's like, if you want to teach kids, this is my number one thing. Relatable.
Relatable.
Do you know that?
What does it mean?
Relatable means like for me when I was a kid, I looked at adults and I was like, they're not the same as me.
Mm.
They're older. They think they know everything.
Friendly? No.
Yes, but not too much,
Mm.
right? You have to be like, there's a line, right? Of being like, I always called it like angry teacher, nice teacher. You got to be like in the middle,
Mm.
right? And being relatable, like I was always honest to kids. Like, did I say to kids like, oh yeah, I was a great student when I was young. I loved school. It was so amazing. No. What did I say? I hated school. I hate homework. I still hate homework. I don't like tests. I think we should have, like, I was relatable to kids. And that's what kids like. They don't like you being like, you're the adult. They're the kids.
Mm.
It's like
Exactly. Right. Telling kids like, oh, teacher, I don't want to be here. Like, oh yeah, I understand. I don't want to be here. Right? You don't say like, oh, you have to be here. Right? You say like, yeah, me too. But this is my job. I have to be here.
Mm.
Your mom and dad want you here. Right? So you have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
it's a very good point.
Yeah. You have to be like relatable to kids. And adults too. I think that's important too. It's like, as a teacher I have to be, but even like just talking to people, you have to try to relate to them. Yeah. Topics today.
Food.
Work, and relationships.
Relationship.
Pretty easy. Now this is not a difficult relationship one. Now I think, oh my god, our time is like,
Break talk.
yeah, we need break time. So we are not gonna do any vocabulary, I think, because we just have no time. We're talking way too much today. So we will let's have a break. We'll come back and talk about this really quickly. And then we're gonna do some speaking
Okay, thank
really
you.
fast. Yeah. Go to the bathroom, drink some water.
Should I push? Oh.
Oh yeah, you
Wait.
can stop that.